Arnab, welcome to Duolog.
Thank you, Barun.
So now currently you're an entrepreneur too, right? You have to pay salary to your employees at the end of the month. You have to ensure that the fund is there. There's a trend that I'm observing in news industry these days. Large media conglomerates, they are also coming into owning news media, news television media. Do you think that's a trend which will lead journalism to be compromised, or it'll help our cause?
May I correct your first statement? I don't pay. Only I don't pay. A company pays its
That's right,
salary
you're
to the
company.
employees, and the company pays me a salary.
I know, but you are also an owner, right? You're in the board. Yeah, if anything goes wrong, finally you're the face and you're the promoter. Right?
I am not just the owner. I am the only owner, and want to make a public declaration of this today, Barun. You know it privately, but presently my holding company controls 82% of the equity of Republic. I personally control, uh, over 70% of the financial equity of the network. And reason I'm telling you this is not because I want to ramble these facts, but it's important for the people watching this program to know that the proud reality is that today we are the only democracy in which a journalist completely financially and in every way, in terms of equity, owns and controls a large news organization. There is no comparison. There is no equivalent model of this kind anywhere in the world. There is nowhere in America or in Western Europe or in the UK would you find a model where a large news organization of this scale would be owned individually by a journalist. Now, can we coexist with the rest of the big corporate groups who are entering the media? I think we can.
No,
I think there is no problem with that.
No, I was not talking about your model. Obviously, your model is the right model because when you wear two hats of being the editor and being the promoter, you are ensuring that the balance is maintained, right? The journalistic ethics as well as the bottom line. I'm talking about the media conglomerate who are now acquiring or running or owning news organizations, which may be minuscule in terms of top line compared to their whole business. Is it an opportunity for news media, or there could be a potential threat to journalistic ethics from
If the organizations who you're referring to have a monopolistic attitude, then it can be a threat. However, I believe that in a democracy as large as India, no organization, leave alone a corporate house, would like to have a monopolistic approach in the news arena. I think what is happening is that large corporate houses feel they should have a toehold in the large world of news media. And my response to this is, it's good. And in fact, Barun, I would put it differently. Let me ask you this. I feel ownership should be open rather than be covert.
Absolutely.
For 20 to 25 years, it has been a talk of town that certain corporates own certain media.
That's not only in India, internationally also.
Yeah, but internationally, if corporate houses own media organizations, it is in the public domain. In India, it's been sort of covert. I think what should happen is that ownership should be open. Like I have declared my ownership to you, and I can declare every single investor, and I can say who holds how much equity in the Republic. Similarly, I think that the ownership, if corporates want to control media organizations, let them do so openly. I just don't like this whole idea of back-end deals, convertible shares held in the back, large debts given to media organization, which can be converted. And when the conversion happens, the so-called media owners then cry foul. I'm not taking any names, but I feel that is wrong. I feel that news media owners need to be very open about their ownership and their finance.
That's one part of it. Like, for instance, we also, the promoters or the investors of TV9 Network, ABCPL, are two very large media conglomerates. They're into completely unrelated business. One is the My Home Group. They're very large. Their top line, compared to our top line, it's not even 1%. Now, what they've done in a very mature way, which is not very common in Indian context, they had let the management team run the operations.
Excellent.
I'm telling you on air, I've told you in private discussions also, the intervention that I face from our owners is virtually zero, as in zero.
Excellent.
Zero intervention.
I'm very happy to hear that, Barun.
And that's why we thrived. That's why in 3 years we tripled our revenue and we became actually a true corporate house. Now we have international appetite, which I've discussed with you. But this is the vision of the owners. While they owned it, and he's got the job cut out for me from very first day. Respect is what I thrive for, Barun. Revenue and ratings can follow. So therefore, not only disclosure, but I think if you do not, this is a specialized job.
Yes.
A journalism is not any other business.
Yes.
It's not manufacturing.
No, no.
Right? It's not engineering.
No.
So you should let the people who know the business, who know journalism, run this organization.
No, I agree with you. And I think that knowing you, Barun, let me ask you something. Would you have done the job if you had not gotten that mandate?
I've been in a CEO position in other organizations where I did not have this freedom. And the trust also has to be earned. Nobody would trust you from day one. It is
incremental. Yeah.
It's incremental. You earn this much of trust, you get another so much in return.
Completely.
And then you build on that. So it's been quite good for us.
So Barun, congratulations to that. But what it also proves is that if you give a free run to a professional with fixed responsibility and accountability, that is the only way of getting results. But again, in the same line, I would say that there are only two kinds of ownership, either involved, sleeves rolled up ownership like mine, where I'm totally sleeves rolled up, or they should be passive, where you're just a shareholder and you let your editors and CEOs do the job. Both are operationally good models. All that should happen, it should be honesty.
Right.
Full transparency.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying, Barun, don't you agree with me that media organizations need to declare their ownership and source of finances? That there should be nothing diffuse about it?
200%.
Otherwise I don't think we should be in the news.
Absolutely. 200%. Goes without saying. Even more so for news organizations, because you have a responsibility to the audience, which is why we have FDI restriction in news, not in entertainment. So we shoulder far larger responsibility on our shoulders.
But I think if you hadn't been doing this job, you would have been an anchor. You would have been a good anchor, or you would have been maybe a theater director. I don't know why I fancy you I see you as a theater director or a movie director kind of person.
I directed a theater.
I think you're you're doing a great job in what you're doing, but I think your heart is somewhere else.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Am I right?
Yeah. I'm developing content. This content is a fiction content. And
This is not fiction, by the way.
No, that I'm telling you. I have directed and creatively, I was the creative producer and I scripted a one-woman act stage. I will take it that we'll talk about it.
Wow,
later.
I'd love to.
Duologue with Barun Das featuring Arnab Goswami. Streaming on the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.